Something shifted over your life on August 12th. Archangel Michael have been trying to reach you, but you keep skipping the warnings. A divine surprise was assigned to you. You have 3 minutes left to claim it before it's redirected. Open this now. Child of the Most High, on August 12th, a gate in the unseen realm swung wide over your life. Not a door of man, but a spiritual threshold only heaven could open. It was a timestamp sealed into eternity, a moment marked in the scrolls of heaven before you were even born. On that day, the heavens recorded a shift that will not come again in your lifetime. The atmosphere bent, the spiritual currents turned, and the angels took their places for a divine release, your divine release. I speak now under the mantle of Archangel Michael, the warrior who has stood in defense of your destiny since the day you first drew breath. He has tried to reach you, again and again, through the dream that lingered when you awoke, through the strange repetition of numbers, through the sudden stillness you could not explain. You felt it, but you dismissed it. You sensed it, but you hesitated. Warnings came like whispers in the wind, but you kept walking as though you had more time. And yet heaven, in its mercy, has not withdrawn the gift. A divine surprise, not a mere blessing, but a turning point, was dispatched from the throne for you. It is hovering now, unclaimed, waiting for the moment you step into stillness and say yes without wavering. But make no mistake, this is not for every ear. This word will land only in the hearts that cannot scroll past it, the spirits that feel the heat in their chest as they read. If you feel the pull, if something inside of you says this is for me, you are one of the few marked for this release. But time is running thin. 3 minutes. That is the prophetic window you have been granted before heaven reassigns what was meant for you. In the realm of the Spirit, time is not measured in hours but in obedience. One yes can anchor your inheritance, but one more hesitation can send it elsewhere. The conditions are simple. Silence your mind, still your spirit, and obey without delay. Type I receive in the comments if you know this word is for you. Blessing code 777 is being released over your name. Before the next 180 seconds pass, heaven is weighing your response. I, Michael, the Archangel of the Lord Most High, stand before you now, sword drawn, armor blazing with the light of heaven, positioned between you and the unseen opposition that has stalked your steps for months, perhaps years. I have not come to bring you a gentle reminder. I have come to deliver an urgent decree from the courts of the Almighty. The clock has already begun ticking the moment your eyes fell upon these words. This is not chance. This is not coincidence. This is the summoning of your spirit into divine alignment before the appointed gate closes. You have felt it before, the hollow ache of something slipping past you without understanding why. That sudden stirring in your chest when you sense you have overlooked a moment you were meant to seize. The restlessness that follows, whispering in the back of your mind, what did I just miss? That sensation is not guilt. It is the echo of missed divine moments, moments when heaven stood ready to pour out, yet your hands were too full of distractions to receive. But hear me now. You have been chosen for this precise hour. Even in your delay, your name has not been erased from heaven's scroll. This moment is not born of your perfection, but of God's mercy. Yet mercy carries urgency, and grace demands a response. You are not reading this as a bystander. You are the subject of this decree. The gates of August 12th are still slightly ajar, not wide open, but enough for one bold soul to pass through. You have been granted this brief and final window tact. I speak under the authority of the Almighty. The divine surprise assigned to you is greater than the prayers you've whispered, greater than the vision you've dared to imagine. It is the kind of blessing that will alter the trajectory of your life, the kind that will silence your accusers and confound those who doubted you. And yet, in the courts of heaven, such blessings cannot linger unclaimed. If your spirit rises now, if your heart races and your palms tremble, it is the seal of heaven testifying that this word has your name etched upon it. Do not mistake this as a public message. This is a private summons delivered in public form. Not everyone will feel it. Some will scroll and forget. But you cannot look away, because your spirit knows that Michael does not draw his sword without cause. I am here because opposition has surrounded you in stealth, moving unseen, hoping to distract you long enough to miss this divine exchange. They are close, closer than you think. But heaven is closer still. This is your moment to stand in stillness, to acknowledge aloud, this is my word, my moment, my gate. When you do, you align yourself with the armies of heaven who are already positioned to guard your passage. Every second you hesitate, the light narrows, the gate closes, and the opportunity shifts toward another who is ready. Child of God, this is not about fear. This is about urgency. This is the Spirit of God shaking you awake from the slumber of hesitation. I have been sent to remind you, divine appointments are not rescheduled indefinitely. The gate of August 12th will not return again in your lifetime. What you claim now will become a monument in your testimony. What you ignore now will become a chapter you revisit with regret. The sword is drawn. The moment is here. The gate is open. Will you step through? Type I am ready in the comments to seal your alignment. Blessing code 1919 is now hovering over your life, ready to descend. You have noticed it, haven't you? The way people around you have been acting, speaking in half-finished sentences when you walk into the room, exchanging glances they think you don't see, moving differently, as though they know something they are not telling you. There is a murmur in the atmosphere, an invisible conversation taking place about your life. And if you have felt an unshakable unease in your spirit, it is not paranoia, it is spiritual sensitivity. There are whispers in rooms you have not entered, plans being laid out with your name in them, though your ears have not heard them yet. Some smile at you with their lips, while their minds are calculating. Others avoid you entirely, not because they dislike you, but because something about your presence unnerves them. They can't explain it, but deep in their spirit, they sense you are about to step into something monumental, and they do not know how to react. This is why you have been feeling unsettled. The last few days have not been just stress. The quiet hours when you lie awake, staring at the ceiling, replaying conversations and wondering why you feel so watched, that is your spirit man alerting you. Something in the unseen is moving. Heaven's angels and hell's agents are both circling, because your appointed time is dangerously close. What you don't realize is that there are powers, both human and spiritual, that would rather see you miss this moment. That divine surprise, dispatched on August 12th, is still hovering within reach, but the interference has been strategic. The enemy has no authority to take what God has assigned to you, but he can distract you long enough for you to forfeit it. And distraction can come dressed as friendship, as urgency, even as good opportunities. You must be vigilant now. Not everyone who smiles at you is aligned with heaven's plans for your life. Some are here to observe, to report, to siphon your energy. Others are pawns unaware they are being used. You've been sensing it without understanding it, that strange heaviness after talking to certain people, that sharp tension in your spirit after certain places, the sudden wave of fatigue when you're on the brink of making a decision. This is not random. This is interference. And I tell you, child of God, there is more going on around you than you can see. Conversations have been had about your future that you have not been invited into. Doors have been discussed, opportunities weighed, decisions made, yet your name was on the table the whole time. Do not be shaken by this. Heaven allows you to feel this tension not to make you fearful, but to awaken you. The unrest you feel is proof you are standing at a threshold that the enemy desperately wants to block. But here is your comfort. The same way they have been talking about you behind closed doors, the courts of heaven have been speaking your name in the presence of the Almighty. While they plot, heaven plans. While they whisper, heaven decrees. And what heaven decrees cannot be erased by any earthly conversation. The key is this: you must not give in to the emotional disruption. You must not let the unease push you into rash action or silence your prayer. You are being watched, yes, but more importantly, you are being guarded. And the one who guards you is greater than the one who stalks you. Your spirit is sensing the weight of this moment because the shift is closer than you think. Your divine surprise is circling overhead, waiting for your yes, waiting for your stillness, waiting for your obedience. Type "I am covered" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 2020 is now surrounding you like a shield. Child of the living God, hear this clearly. The missed warnings you have brushed aside were never random, never coincidental, never accidental. They were part of a deeper spiritual test, one set in motion to see if you could discern heaven's whisper in the noise of the world. From the moment the gate of August 12th opened, the war over your life intensified. You thought it was just bad timing, a string of inconveniences, maybe even just life happening. But in the spirit realm, the enemy recognized what you carried before you did. The sudden interruptions, the strange distractions, the wave of tiredness right when you intended to pray, the unusual arguments that erupted without cause, these were not natural. They were arrows of delay, carefully aimed to keep you from lifting your eyes to see the moment you were standing in. You were being tested, and yes, at times you faltered, but here is the truth. Heaven does not call the perfect, heaven calls the willing. And you are still here, which means you are still in position. Understand this. Resistance is the mark of assignment. If you were of no threat to the kingdom of darkness, your path would be clear, quiet, and uneventful. The fact that you have felt targeted, hindered, and pressed is confirmation that your life is of strategic importance to the plans of heaven. Archangel Michael has stood between you and countless unseen attacks, holding back waves that would have drowned you, intercepting weapons before they reached your heart. There were moments you almost lost the blessing without even realizing it. The enemy's tactic is subtle, not to steal outright, but to weary you into forfeiting. This is why you felt heavy, distracted, or tempted to believe maybe this isn't for me. That is not the truth. That is warfare. And this warfare is a sign of just how close you are to stepping into the release August 12th was designed to set in motion. But you must also know this. Your blessing is not just about you. What God is releasing over your life will ripple into the lives of others, which is why the enemy has fought it so viciously. If he can stop you, he can stop the blessing from flowing into everyone connected to you. This is not just personal, it is generational. The urgency you feel is heaven's way of saying, choose now which voice you will follow. Will you give your ear to the fear, the doubt, the fatigue, or will you stand in stillness and let heaven's decree anchor you? The battlefield is not in your hands, it is in your obedience. Every act of stillness, every moment you choose prayer over panic, every time you resist the urge to defend yourself in your own strength, you are winning the battle in the spirit realm. Do not see this moment as a punishment. See it for what it truly is, a divine setup to prove that the one God has called cannot be stopped by human plans or demonic schemes. Your very delay in claiming this blessing has now become the platform for heaven to demonstrate its power openly. The enemy thought your hesitation was a victory. Instead, it has become the proof that even your stumbles cannot derail God's plans. So I say this with the full authority of heaven's court: your choice now matters. Not because God is unsure, but because you must align your will with His. When you choose to step forward, when you choose obedience in this moment, the chains that have been tightening will break with the sound of heaven's command. The spiritual opposition has been fierce because your blessing has been fierce. And once it is released, no hand will be able to contain it. Stand firm. Refuse to be baited into petty battles or distracted by false urgencies. The real fight is already being fought on your behalf. You need only hold your ground. Type "I will not miss IT" in the comments if you stand your ground today. Lesson code 444 is now activating divine reinforcement around you. Listen carefully, for I am not here to stir your emotions, but to sound the trumpet over your life. Within the next 72 hours, the atmosphere around you will shift. Decisions will be made, words will be spoken, actions will be taken, some in the open, others behind closed doors, that will directly influence the course of your next season. This is not to frighten you, but to prepare you, because heaven never allows a move without first sending a warning. You have felt the heaviness in the air. The past few days have been thick, as though time itself has slowed, and yet the pressure has increased. That is because heaven is standing at the edge of intervention. The angels are in motion. The paperwork of the Spirit, decrees, approvals, judgments, is being finalized. But as heaven prepares, so too does the opposition. While the hosts of God assemble to deliver what was assigned to you on August 12th, there are others, both seen and unseen, making calculated moves to delay, distract, or diminish what is coming. There is someone, even now, preparing to move against you. It may be through subtle influence, a quiet word spoken to sway opinion, a decision made without your knowledge, or a seed of doubt planted in the mind of someone connected to your destiny. It may even come cloaked as an opportunity, designed to pull you into the wrong lane at the wrong time. Do not be deceived. Discernment must be your closest companion in these next hours. I must tell you, child of God, that this kind of shift does not come often. It is not just another week, another month, another year. This is a prophetic hinge, a turning point. What happens in these 72 hours will set the tone for the next season of your life, whether that season begins with acceleration or delay. There will be signs. The conversation that feels off, the sudden invitation that makes you uneasy, the strange sense of urgency over something that normally would not matter. These are not accidents. They are indicators that the spiritual climate is charged and that every move counts. The enemy will try to press you into making quick decisions without prayer. Resist this. Heaven's timing is urgent, but it is never reckless. Here is what you must understand. If you delay obedience, this blessing, the divine surprise hovering over your life since August 12th, can be reassigned. Heaven operates in perfect order. If the appointed vessel does not respond, the assignment is passed to another who will. This is why your hesitation in past days has been dangerous, but your obedience now can redeem the time. The weight of this warning is not meant to crush you. It is meant to awaken you. You are not powerless here. The God who opened the gate over your life on August 12th is still the God who commands the wind and the waves. Your responsibility is simple. Stay in stillness, listen for His instruction, and move only when His Spirit says move. Do not let the noise of fear drown out the whisper of direction. Do not be baited into defending yourself in battles heaven has already won on your behalf. Stand where you are, eyes fixed, spirit steady, knowing that the one who called you has already secured the outcome. The 72-hour window is not a countdown to disaster, but a countdown to destiny. When the shift comes, it will not be small. It will be public enough for others to see, undeniable enough for you to know, and powerful enough to change the course of your life. But the gate will not remain open indefinitely. This is your summons to be ready, to be still, and to obey without hesitation. Type "I will be ready" in the comments if you receive this warning. Blessing code 555 is now being sealed over your next 72 hours. Child of the Most High, I must speak to you now as a commander speaks to a soldier on the battlefield. You are in a moment of heightened spiritual activity, and in these hours, protection is not optional, it is vital. The gate of August 12th was not just an opening for blessing, it was a trumpet blast that awakened both heaven and hell to the significance of your life. The blessing assigned to you has drawn attention, and not all attention is good. You must therefore walk with wisdom, not fear, and follow heaven's exact instructions for your safety. Verse: you must become still. This is not the hour for scattered energy or constant movement. Stillness in the spirit is not passivity, it is positioning. When you become still, you allow heaven's armies to fight without the interference of your flesh. Archangel Michael does not need your panic, he needs your agreement. Stand firm. Anchor yourself in prayer. Let the Spirit, not your emotions, dictate your movements. Second, retreat from unnecessary battles. Some will try to bait you into arguments, debates, or conflicts that serve no purpose but to drain you. Others will intentionally misinterpret you to pull you into a defensive stance. Resist the urge to respond. In this season, silence is not weakness, it is your shield. The less you speak, the harder it is for the enemy to twist your words. Your stillness is not a sign of surrender, it is a signal to heaven that you trust God to handle what you cannot. Third, fortify your spiritual defenses through targeted prayer. Do not pray vague prayers in this season. Speak with precision. Declare that no weapon formed against you will prosper, that every tongue rising in judgment against you will be condemned. Call upon the blood of Jesus to cover your home, your mind, your finances, your relationships. When you speak these declarations, you are not merely saying words, you are issuing legal commands in the courts of heaven. Fourth, watch and listen. This is not just about what you hear in the physical realm. Pay attention to dreams, to the subtle nudges of the Spirit, to repeated phrases or scriptures that seem to appear everywhere you turn. Heaven is communicating, and your awareness is part of your protection. The enemy thrives in confusion, but clarity is your inheritance. Fifth, keep your circle tight. Not everyone needs to know what is happening in your spirit right now. There are some blessings you must protect in silence until they manifest. Even those you trust with your heart may not have the spiritual maturity to understand the weight of this moment. Share only with those who are spirit-led and assigned to walk this road with you. Finally, declare your safety aloud. Speak over yourself. I am covered by the blood. My steps are ordered by the Lord. Angels surround me on every side. No scheme will prevail against me. My life is hidden in Christ, and I cannot be touched without heaven's permission. These words are not just affirmations, they are weapons. Every time you declare them, you reinforce the spiritual walls around your life. The enemy wants you to believe you are vulnerable, but the truth is this: you are guarded. Michael stands before you with his sword drawn, Angels flank your path, and the Spirit of God rests upon you. You are not walking into these 72 hours unprotected. You are walking in as one wrapped in divine armor. So remain still. Stay silent where you must. Speak only when the Spirit prompts. And above all, keep your heart anchored in trust. Your obedience to these protective instructions will not only safeguard your life, but will also ensure that the blessing of August 12th reaches your hands intact. I am protected in the comments if you stand under heaven's covering today. Blessing code 888 is now forming a hedge of divine fire around you. Beloved, the moment has come to rise. You are no longer the same person you were before August 12th. On that day, heaven shifted something in your life that can never be undone. Whether you felt it in the moment or not, the spiritual atmosphere around you has been permanently altered. You have passed through fire and storms, and though you may still feel the weight of the battle, the truth is this: you have survived what was meant to destroy you, and now you stand at the threshold of promotion. The opposition tried to convince you that you were weak, vulnerable, and unworthy of what heaven assigned to you. But the very fact that you are still here proves the opposite. You have endured the delay, resisted the bait of distraction, and remained standing under the weight of pressure that would have crushed a lesser soul. Every attack you faced became a step in your ascension. Every night you cried out for answers. Every moment you resisted giving up. Every whisper of prayer you uttered in the dark, heaven recorded it all. And now, I declare, the season of simply defending yourself is giving way to the season of taking territory. You are not called to remain behind walls forever. You are called to soar. I see in the Spirit the unfolding of wings, wings that have been pressed tight in the cocoon of waiting, now stretching into their full span. The chains that once bound you are lying broken at your feet, and the light that was dimmed by the fog of confusion is piercing through with brilliance. This is why the enemy underestimated you. He saw the struggle, but he did not see the seed. He saw the delay, but he did not see the determination that would grow inside of you because of it. He assumed the battles would make you smaller, but instead they have made you unshakable. What was designed to strip you has instead clothed you in armor. You are no longer a target running for cover. You are a warrior advancing with authority. From this moment forward, I want you to see yourself as heaven sees you. You are not desperate. You are destined. You are not barely surviving. You are strategically positioned. You are not forgotten. You are favored. You walk with the backing of the Almighty, the covering of angels, and the promise that no force, human or demonic, can overturn the decree that has been written over your life. Do you feel it? That inner stirring is not anxiety. It is the awakening of power. It is the recognition that you are entering a season where the very ground you walk on responds to your steps. You will no longer only react to what comes against you. You will initiate moves that shift the atmosphere in your favor. The blessing of August 12th is not just for your provision, it is for your dominion. So lift your head, square your shoulders, speak with the voice of one who knows they are backed by heaven's authority. Every moment you spend in fear is a moment you give away your advantage. But every moment you spend in faith is a moment you multiply your impact. You are not stepping into the next season quietly. You are stepping in as one who carries the roar of the Lion of Judah in their spirit. The shift has already happened. Your role now is to step into the fullness of it. Move with confidence. Pray with boldness. Decide with clarity. This is your time not only to receive but to reign. Type "I am rising" in the comments if you accept your elevation. Blessing code 999 is now unlocking your season of authority. Hear me, beloved. The trials you face, the interruptions that came at the most inconvenient moments, the delays that seemed to mock your faith, none of it was random. Every obstacle was a piece of a larger, divinely designed pattern. Heaven was not punishing you, heaven was positioning you. The shaking was not meant to break you. It was meant to place you exactly where you needed to be for the release that began on August 12th. You see, in the unseen realm, timing is everything. There are blessings that cannot be delivered prematurely without diminishing their power. If they had arrived before the appointed time, you might have received them but not recognized their weight. You might have spent them, squandered them, or let them slip through your fingers because your spirit was not yet anchored to hold them. So heaven, in its infinite wisdom, allowed certain doors to remain closed, certain opportunities to vanish, and certain people to exit your life. The enemy thought these delays were his doing, but in truth, they were heaven's strategy. While the enemy was busy crafting schemes to wear you down, the Lord was using that same time to strengthen your discernment, deepen your faith, and sharpen your spiritual hearing. The warfare became your training ground. The silence became your classroom. The disappointments became your pruning season, cutting away everything that could not go with you into this next chapter. Now the fullness of time has come. This is not just another open door. This is the unlocking of a vault. In the courts of heaven, your name has been spoken with authority. Decrees have been signed. The blessing, financial, relational, and spiritual, had been authorized for release. You are standing at the place where promise meets manifestation. I must tell you plainly, what is about to be placed in your hands is bigger than the thing you prayed for. You asked for enough to get by. Heaven is giving you enough to overflow. You prayed for a solution. Heaven is giving you a legacy. This is the divine surprise of August 12th, one that will not only meet your immediate needs but also establish you as a conduit for others' breakthroughs. Do not mistake this as simply a reward for endurance. This is a commissioning. The blessing is coming because you are now ready to carry it with purpose, not just possession. Heaven has seen the tears you cried in secret, the nights you kept worshiping when no answer came, the faith you held onto when everything in your circumstances told you to give up. And now the answer comes, and it comes in a way that will make it clear to everyone watching. Only God could have done this. Beloved, lift your hands in faith. Your days of wondering if God heard you are over. The proof is on its way, and it will not arrive empty. It will arrive overflowing. Type "I am ready to receive" in the comments if you know this word is yours. Blessing code 1212 is now releasing the fullness of heaven's decree into your life. Beloved, the time for watching is over. The time for wondering is over. The time for hesitation is over. Heaven is not looking for passive agreement right now. Heaven is looking for active alignment. The divine surprise that was dispatched over your life on August 12th has hovered long enough. It is circling above you, waiting for a signal from your spirit to descend. That signal is not fear, not wishful thinking, but the bold, undeniable yes of faith in action. Understand this. In the kingdom, movement in the physical mirrors movement in the spiritual. When you speak a word, when you lift your hands, when you step forward in obedience, heaven responds in kind. Your destiny does not activate in silence. It activates in declaration. And that is why this moment is so critical. You have been prepared. You have been positioned. But now you must participate. The danger is not that the blessing will vanish. The danger is that it will be reassigned. Heaven's resources are never wasted. If the appointed vessel does not step forward, heaven will place the assignment in the hands of another who will. This is why hesitation in this hour is not a small thing. It is the difference between living in the fullness of your calling or spending the next season watching someone else walk in what you were meant to carry. I hear the Spirit saying, heaven waits for your yes. Not the half-hearted yes you speak when you are unsure if you believe it, but the resolute yes that shakes the ground beneath your feet. The yes that says, even if I do not see it yet, I move as though it is already mine. This yes is not only spoken, it is lived. Your words matter here. Speak over your life. I step into my assignment. I claim my blessing. I align with heaven's timing. Do not let another day pass with silence where there should be sound. Every declaration you make in faith becomes a key that unlocks another part of your destiny. But words alone are not enough. Action seals the declaration. It may mean finally completing what you've been delaying. It may mean letting go of the person or habit that's been tethering you to old patterns. It may mean showing up to the place God has been nudging you toward, even if it makes no sense in the natural. Faith without works is dead, and destiny without action is delayed. You have less time than you think. The 3-minute prophetic window you were warned about has already begun ticking in heaven's realm. Time in the Spirit is measured not by the clock, but by obedience. A single moment of faith can open what years of striving could not. But a single moment of hesitation can close what was open before you. So I ask you now, will you activate what heaven has prepared for you? Will you stand as the rightful heir to what was released over your life on August 12th? Or will you let it be redirected? This is not about deserving. This is about deciding. The gate is open, but it will not remain so indefinitely. Beloved, the time is now. Speak it. Move in it. Live it. You are not waiting for your destiny. Your destiny is waiting for you. Heaven has already done its part. Now the earth waits for your agreement. Type ISAYYES in the comments if you choose to activate your destiny. Lesson code 3030 is now marking your obedience in the courts of heaven. Beloved, while you have been wrestling with decisions, battling distractions, and navigating moments of uncertainty, there has been a silent transaction taking place in the realm of the Spirit. It is a scene hidden from earthly eyes but fully visible to heaven's court. The very moment the gate opened on August 12th, your file was pulled from the archives of heaven. Every promise, every prophecy, every word spoken over your life since before you were born was laid out in the presence of the Almighty. I see it now, golden scrolls unrolled across a table of light, each one bearing your name in letters that burn with glory. Beside them, sealed envelopes containing blessings, assignments, and breakthroughs that were intercepted in past seasons, not stolen beyond recovery, but held up by opposition. Angels stand on either side, waiting for the command to release them back into your hands. At the head of the table, Archangel Michael himself stands guard, his sword resting point down, his gaze fixed on the enemy forces that dared to touch what belongs to you. This is the silent exchange. In the same way earthly courts can issue restitution for what has been wrongfully taken, the courts of heaven are issuing restoration orders over your life. The enemy has been commanded to return what he delayed. Every opportunity that slipped through your fingers, every relationship that was sabotaged, every door that was prematurely shut, they are being reissued in upgraded form. But understand this, in the spirit realm, exchanges are not noisy affairs. They happen in silence, in stillness, in alignment. This is why heaven has been calling you to quiet your soul, not because nothing is happening, but because everything is happening. If you were to see the level of activity taking place right now on your behalf, you would be overwhelmed. The sound of angelic movement is not always heard in the natural, but its effects will soon be seen. Even in your sleep, your spirit has been active in receiving what was yours. Some of the dreams you have dismissed as random were actually the moment heaven placed keys, documents, and spiritual weapons back into your possession. These dreams are prophetic transactions, signs that the exchange has already begun. You may have seen doors, envelopes, or even light being handed to you. These are not mere images but evidence of transfer. Child of God, I must tell you something important. The enemy does not easily release what he has withheld. Even now, there are forces attempting to appeal the judgment in heaven's court, trying to find loopholes through your fear, doubt, or disobedience. This is why your agreement in faith is so crucial. When you say, "I receive," you are signing heaven's release order with your own spirit. Without your signature of agreement, the blessing remains authorized but unclaimed. Do not let another hour pass without sealing what is yours. This is not the time to shrink back. The silent exchange is in motion, but the final delivery requires your active acceptance. Stand in faith. Declare your claim. Let the enemy know you are not ignorant of what is being returned to you. Speak aloud. Everything that was delayed is now restored. Everything that was intercepted is now delivered. I take possession in Jesus' name. In a short time, you will see visible proof of this invisible work. It may arrive as a sudden opportunity, a financial shift, a reconciled relationship, or an unexpected open door. However it appears, know this: it is the manifestation of what was already decided in heaven. Type "I receive my restoration" in the comments if you know the silent exchange is for you. Blessing code 4545 is now activating the return of all that belongs to you. Beloved, hear this with the full weight of heaven's authority. What the enemy intended for harm is about to reverse in your favor. This is not wishful thinking. This is a legal decree from the throne of God. The same forces that scheme to delay, diminish, or derail you will become instruments of your elevation. The Lord has taken your case into his court, and the gavel of divine justice has already struck. In the spirit realm, I see scales, perfect, unshakable, unbribed. On one side lies every loss, every betrayal, every missed opportunity. On the other side, the hand of the Almighty tips the balance, not just to level the scales but to weigh them heavily in your favor. God does not restore in equal measure, he restores in abundance. You will not only receive what you lost, you will receive more than what was taken. This is the principle of divine reversal. The very pit dug for you will become the stage of your promotion. The lie spoken against you will become the soil in which your vindication grows. Those who laughed in secret will be witnesses to your public breakthrough. And the best part, this reversal will happen in a way that no one can deny it was the hand of God. The spiritual justice being released over your life is precise. God is not scattering blessings randomly. He is targeting every area where you were attacked. For every year you were delayed, he is releasing double acceleration. For every resource withheld, he is opening streams from unexpected places. For every relationship sabotaged, he is aligning divine connections that no man can break. Archangel Michael stands at the gate of this new season, ensuring that what is released to you is untouchable. The enemy has lost legal grounds. His accusations have been silenced. His claims have been thrown out. The blood of Jesus has spoken a better word over you, and that word is restored. But I must tell you this: when divine justice arrives, it often comes with visibility. This means your blessing will not be hidden. Others will see it, and not all will celebrate it. Some will question why it came to you. Others will try to downplay it. Do not be moved. Remember, this is not about their approval. This is about heaven's decree. You are stepping into a season where tables are turning so quickly that those who oppose you will not have time to adjust. One day they will think they have succeeded in keeping you small. The next, they will see you walking in a level of favor they cannot explain. This is the suddenly of God, the moment when years of waiting are overturned in a single act of His hand. Even now, the Spirit is whispering, what was meant for your downfall will be the very thing that lifts you up. The same conversations that excluded you will turn into invitations. The same systems that denied you will seek your voice. The same enemies who mocked you will have to acknowledge the grace upon your life. Beloved, stand still and watch the reversal unfold. Do not waste time trying to make them understand. Focus on receiving what heaven is pouring out. Your victory will speak for itself. And when it does, it will be undeniable, irreversible, and unforgettable. Type "Divine Justice is mine" in the comments if you know reversal is coming for you. Blessing code 5656 is now activating public vindication over your life. Beloved, let this be written in your spirit. August 12th was not just a date on the calendar. It was a divine timestamp in heaven's book. On that day, the gate over your life opened, and a once-in-a-lifetime release was dispatched with your name on it. You have walked through resistance, discerned whispers, faced delays, and endured unseen battles, but here you stand, still chosen, still marked, still in the window of heaven's favor. You were warned of the 3-minute prophetic claim period, and even now, the urgency remains. This is not about fear of loss, but about readiness for gain. The blessing has not been withdrawn. It hovers, waiting your alignment. And now you are equipped, prepared, and positioned to receive it without forfeiture. Hear this with the authority of the Most High. You are seen. You are known. You are protected. The very angels who fought to guard you in the unseen are now standing to usher you into your season of fulfillment. No weapon will prosper. No scheme will succeed. No delay will withstand the decree already spoken over you. I release this blessing over your life. May the Lord accelerate every promise that has been pending. May clarity flood your spirit where there was once confusion. May doors swing wide that no man can shut. May your hands never again be empty, and may your feet walk in paths prepared by heaven's own design. You are unstoppable, not because of your strength, but because of the one who goes before you. Rise now into your purpose. Walk boldly into the release. Speak with the authority of one who has been to the courts of heaven, and return with victory. The August 12th shift was the beginning. What happens next is the unfolding of your divine story. Type "I am chosen" in the comments to seal this blessing. Blessing code 7777 is now covering your next steps with favor and protection.